just me on the GoPro this morning. We're in the 718. Y'all can see our my pile of wood that I got over here. I'm building a new set. See it over there? It's a pile of wood. This is my first little bundle there. But I haven't never really showed y'all.
Squeeze them too tight, maybe they won't break.
I haven't explained real well, I guess you'd say, you know, how I'm building my set. Turn them down. But anyway, I mean, y'all can see it's, you want it with two loaders. We usually have about 100 feet across the front, and then I taper it. Y'all can see how the sun is over there, and it kind of it tapers in. That's a really good indication of how that access. It runs at like a 45-degree angle, you know, maybe not quite that hard, 30 to 45-degree angle across this back line back here, and it goes back over to the road, and then it kind of goes into a point in front of that pile of wood up there where I'm going to have the skidders coming in. You know, Mickey will be sitting here, and then his chambers will be sitting over there, and it's actually a really good spot. The ground did not mush up at all. It's a lot more sandy content up here versus that dang clay we've been fighting in the back there. But I'll cut everything out of my set and I'll put it in one big pile like what you see there. You'll take these, how I got this one little pile right here. This is my first head full that I cut getting the hole started, and I'll back up and lay them butts. You see them butts right there, right beside the ditch bank. And then I know them trees are, you know, about 35 feet long or so. So I'll throw them down, and then I'll kind of use that as a marker to where I'll put that pile out there, to where that pile will fall almost perfect to where Mickey's gonna set up, where Mickey pulls in here and he takes that pile of wood right there and he just starts delimiting it. There's probably 3 drags of wood, 2 drags of wood, two big ones, and then a small third one, 3 average sized drags in that pile of wood right there. And when Mickey gets here, you know, shoot, he's got almost a whole load of wood right there at his loader to start processing. He don't have to wait on a skidder to go find some or anything like that. Now it is a little more hairy, as y'all can see the tops up there. Let me get the screen lit back up. Anyway, the tops up there are really hairy looking. I can't do anything about that. That's one of the things about having the chambers where it helps. The lower 2 bundles, or, you know, piles that I put down, I can kind of run the tops over and knock some limbs out. When it goes to getting that tall, you can't crawl up on it no more. But anyway, I just figured I'd show y'all kind of what it looks like after I get done making a set. Real neat, real pretty job. And now all we're doing is waiting on Mickey and them to get over here with the loader, which there'll be a little bit. I think I heard Michael still saying he had probably another hour worth of skidding maybe. So maybe they won't be too long, and I'm fixing to go in front of that pile of wood punching access, and then Matt is cutting back that way. He's back here behind me with the track cutter cutting towards me. He's cutting this. Y'all look on this row on the outside of the road right here. Row on the outside of the road, outside of our timber that runs down beside the road. They want this outside row of trees cut to daylight their road. It don't need no more daylight on it, but that's what they want, so that's what we do. It just makes your timber, I've described this before, it makes your timber stand just look way better whenever you drive by it. But anyway, he's back there behind me, cutting towards me and throwing his wood behind him. That's one of the things you want to do with a track cutter, is minimize your tracking, your useless tracking. So like that there, he had about a half of a quarter-mile distance he had to track to the corner of our stand, and then when he got to our corner, he was going to start cutting, you know, throwing his wood behind him. That's one of the things of having a track cutter, is you can cut the wood in front of you and then throw it behind you. So yeah, load of wood go in there. That mess is nasty. Anyway, that's what we got going on. We're fixing to be moving and everything, and hopefully I can get enough cut ahead. I can go get the drone, put it in the air, and we can watch the loaders be moved with the drone. Alright, So I was asked a question. I don't want to dive too deep into who or, you know, stuff like that, but I was asked a question. It wasn't a viewer. It was one of my partnership things I have, and the question was, or it was presented to me that, I mean, y'all can see behind me the loaders are, you know, the loading loader over there was sitting kind of idle. We're cleaning this spot up. We're on a long skid, and I'm fixing to start the second skidder up. I got done cutting over there. So the question was proposed. Well, y'all see like right now, you know, he's not in a big hurry because he knows if he just jumps on that drag of wood, he's going to be out in a quick second there. So anyway, the question was asked, or it was, the information was presented to me that a loader, a knuckle boom loader on clear cuts, thinnings, you know, however you want to look at it, a knuckle boom loader sets idle 25% of the time that the operator is on it. That could be due to long drags, slow wood coming out because it's wet. You know, there's a multitude of things that could cause that loader to be sitting there idling and not producing wood. You could be cut out at a spot and it be your only loader, and you have to load that pile of wood out. So you're gonna load a truck or a couple trucks, and then you're gonna send them off to the mill, and then you're gonna have to wait on them to come back. My solution, if my loader goes to get too idle, my solution is I start my second skidder up. So the question was asked, for the people that own the machines or run the machines daily, what could be done to help prevent idle time on a loader? Because the loader is the most idle machine according to the statistics that we have available to us, and that's through, you know, machine computer data, actually sitting out here and measuring the machine's work. I don't have any of that on my loaders, and I've not had the time to sit here and just time them throughout the day every time they stop. But I would bet mine, right, especially in the wintertime when it's slow like this in the woods, I bet I'm close to, you know, 20-25%. So what is something that you think, if you're an operator or a owner, other than firing up a second skidder, like what I have the option to do, what is your solution to speed up or to reduce that downtime of that machine throughout the day? You know, is there something, is there a different cutting technique that you use? Is there, you know, do you have wood stored in a different location? That's something close for the skidder to work on, and you try and hop your skidder between long and short drags. Is it something to do with the loader itself being fatiguing to the operator that needs to be addressed through a manufacturer standpoint? And something that they can improve in their machine? Is it something, you know, what is your option? What is your opinion on why a knuckle boom loader would be 25% of the time it's at work idle? Or 25% of your operator shift time it is idle. You know, that's an average. I know not everybody's going to be like that, especially when I'm running one loader. If I was one loader and working this bad stuff, my loader would probably see like 2% idle time throughout the day. You know, when we go back to working one loader, even in the better wood, my loader operator is probably only somewhere around a 10 or 15% idle time throughout the day. You know, if that much. Because I try and give everybody, you know, I try and allocate for, you know, 2 10-minute breaks throughout the day, and then, you know, I try and give 30 minutes for lunch. And whether I give that in those 3 intervals, or, you know, they take 3 10-minute breaks, and then there are 2 10-minute breaks, or they kind of space it out 5-minute breaks throughout the day. You know, it's the same amount of time at the end of the day, so we're getting our wood done, so it doesn't really matter. But so anyway, yeah, that was presented to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very shocked to see that the average loader time is as idle 25% of the shift. I was very, very shocked to see that. So if you run a machine and or you own them and you've never checked that, check it. Well, especially if you have JD Link. Very easy to check. Very, very easy to check with JD Link. So anyway, y'all go down in the comments, y'all start talking about that. I'm gonna post this segment to a few other places through Facebook and Instagram maybe, and see what kind of answers we can get out of it. And you know, this is for any brand. Tigercat, John Deere, Caterpillar, Apprentice, Barco, you know, it don't matter what brand you're using. All loaders, you know, they're doing the same job. So yeah, just drop down below and leave out a comment down there for me, and let's get this discussion started. This one ought to be a good one. So I always show y'all the good things about the chambers. I never get to show y'all the bad things about it. And this is one of them. When it is wet, it's pure raw butthole. It will clog that stuff up underneath it. And that gumbo's slick. My skidder just sit there and spin. I'm not sure if y'all can see. Yeah, you can see. Up underneath there, it's just wadding that stuff up, that trash, in front of that tire. It don't help that it's got a flat on the other side now too. And Mickey's gonna get up there and try and pick that thing up. Might see it turn over. So when it's wet, it's just, like I said, it's pain in the butt when it's wet. It's pain in the butt for everything. It's worse with that delimiter. Now the one that we have on Dad's job, it's set up different. I had to get a video of it one day. It has 2 axles underneath it. Y'all talk about floats and wet ground, but when it's stuck, it's stuck. I can't tell you how many times it's just completely set up different. It's set up on like a trailer style instead of a pendulum toe style. And that thing will tie skidder wings to the front or to the back. Skidder grabbed the tongue with his grapple, and we drag it out there and sit. This one, it's almost impossible to do that with. That other tire's a bad load too. Yeah. Logging fun, logging fun. So something else I ain't never showed y'all before, I don't think, is the inside of the chambers. Yeah, pretty basic. Big old fuel tank in it. I think it holds 150 gallons. It's 100 for sure. Might even be 150. I think that's the 150 tank. But no def, no electronics. I mean, there's a couple small things that are electronic, but it's not like our big machines that have just gobs and gobs of computer stuff on it. Straight pipe, no muffler. Why she makes that rum rum sound. But Yeah, it's tight in there too. Got them 2 big pulleys up there. You see the belt? There's another pulley, belt, and the belt. It all runs to the front of the motor over there. So, I think I'll show y'all that. Hardly ever get to show y'all this side of it. You always watching just get stuff drugged through it. The radiator's right here too. But anyway, yeah, pretty neat. You know what beats a good cup of coffee? When you're working, almost nothing. So we got the loaders resituated. We got moved. Didn't get no footage of them dragging. Almost overfilled that. Look. Almost got her to the top. We got the loaders resituated. I didn't get any video footage of them pulling in or out. Well, I did get a little bit of the chambers coming out with my phone. Getting out was a nightmare, and I mean, I cut the whole set with the rubber tire, and I'd have never thought in all my life that this set would have given us trouble, because that rubber tire didn't pull, it didn't mush up no water. It was good. And when we started putting equipment in it, y'all, things went south. It went south quick. We ended up having to take the skidder, I mean the chambers with the skidder, and walking it out there on the bumper pretty much, and just getting it in place and just twisting it. I mean, it's set down in the ground. We had to twist it around and get it up on a pile of dirt, and then we had to move the loader to how the chambers was set up. And then when we started moving the loader around, it started going in the ground. Then we got Brady's loader over here. We started putting him in, and then his loader went to going in the ground when we got it off the road. Which, all this happened before we realized we need to be putting our mats down. I told us we don't need no mats here because it's sandy. It was hard filling with that cutter, you know. We're good. We're good. We weren't good. Okay, well, change of plans for today. We're gonna stand here and we're gonna watch Matt run for a little bit. It's like 2:50. We finally loaded load number 6 for today. We still have a load out. We've moved the set location. Watch the skidder coming by here. Kind of like getting out in the woods like this here lately. I just kind of get out in the woods, kind of at the edge of the set, most especially if the cutter's working real close like this. I can get y'all a little bit of everything. And watch Michael coming up. Look, he got a full pull. He may put another 4 or 5 sticks in that bundle, but he's pretty well full. I can't tell you I wouldn't have done what he just done, but if you have a track cutter, and see how he twisted his tracks right there? That is the last thing you want to be doing right now. Especially as iffy as this ground is. Not so much just on the ground side of things. That is hard, very hard on your undercarriage. If you ain't paying attention to stuff like that when you're operating, you can be costing yourself major dollars really fast. You see how he's having to full boom himself? He needs to scoot over. When I come down there and I watch and I'm showing y'all what we're doing, and then I go back and, you know, I'm filming stuff for y'all to watch, but I'm also watching my operator, and Matt is in, I guess you'd say, a training process. So I will go back whenever he gets to the truck this afternoon. I'll explain to him, you know, look, I saw you doing this. You need to try and do this, and this will help. You know, as I explain it to y'all, I explain it to him the same way. You know, you need to be doing more of this instead of what you were doing. And he actually will go watch the video at home, or at least he says he does. And he sees what I'm talking about, and then he, you know, most everything I show him, he corrects himself on. But he needs to get his tracks over. You know, this will be a good visual reference right here. Okay, y'all see right here? That's the edge of his track, right there where my head shadow is. Y'all see his stumps. Now, golly, that thing's noisy. Now, if I was on the cutter, how you got like that little thing right there, that little stump, that ain't gonna bother that track machine. That ain't gonna hurt your undercarriage or anything like that. And like that one, how you got it nice and low, that's a good job. That one up there is a little bit high, but I'd still probably bob it off a little bit lower doing my down row. Now out here in the thinning, I'm just grazing the top of my pine straw, kind of like how that stump right there is. I'm just grazing the top of the pine straw, just like that. You know, there's no dirt mark or anything like that. You're just trying to graze the top of the pine straw, because most especially this time of year. And any John Deere head I've ever used, and this is one fault I will give that FR50 and any other John Deere head I've ever used in the mud, which would accumulate to the FR21B and the FS20, they will stop up with mud on top of the saw disc. I'll have to show y'all that one day in there, what I'm talking about. Let's step over here, get up behind that bush. There we go. But anyway, y'all saw how he went full boom a minute ago when I went to explaining this to y'all. When he's going full boom like that, that's maximum reach in the thing, if I'm remembering right from the pin, is like 27 feet 4 inches or 6 inches. I think it's 6 inches on the 853. And if you're going straight from the side, if you turn 90 degrees and reach straight off your tracks, I think it's 21 feet, maybe 22 feet you can reach full, you know, a full length reach. And if you can get yourself up, like right here, he could have knocked a foot off of his area. I would have actually, the way I was always taught to do this, I'll zoom all the way back out. Did y'all see where his track is? His outer track went right here. I'd put my track dang near over here on this tree line. And all these trees, he's got thrown on the edge like this, which if you're thinning, it's a little bit different. But you're down rowing and thinning, you got to throw over here. But I would be throwing on the right side sometimes, you know, and I'd be making my pile a little bit smaller so it's easier for me to stay over here. I would be throwing my bundle more closer to my down row that I'm taking out, and get my tracks kind of over here. And you know, there's 3 feet right there, you know, from the tree line where his track mark is. Now you take the amount of time it takes that machine to reach that extra 3 feet on every cut. Say you're reaching 3 feet less than what you normally would be reaching. That's, depending on how fast your machine is, He can be a little fast. He can be a lot fast. But that could be the difference of a few seconds, or, you know, not necessarily a few seconds, but a second. Sorry, I've got distracted trying to figure out what we're blowing horns for and everything else up here. But anyway, that could be the difference in a second difference, a boom reach, or that could be the difference of that could be the difference of a load. Having your boom, you know, your tracks over here 3 feet less could be the difference of you cutting 9 loads a day in this stuff or 10 loads a day in this stuff. It's all about those little things. And like I said, I'll point this out to him whenever we get in the truck this afternoon. I'll show him what I saw and tell him why I think it can be beneficial for him to change how he was doing it. That's a lot of wood in one drag. That thing's a house, and that's their semi baby skidder. So, but it's, I guess, getting back in track here. You know, it's little things like this. You know, I keep talking about, I can teach anybody to run a machine. It's the little things that make you a good operator. And without somebody teaching you these things, you don't really, most people don't learn them on their own. I myself, I learned that kind of stuff on my own because I always had my daddy behind me threatening to put a foot in my butt if I didn't get his wood cut like he needed cut at the end of the day. So I had to learn all these things school of hard knocks way, you know. A few things I learned by people showing me, a few things I've learned by watching other operators, but for the most part, those little things like that, it's all self-taught. Watch them big old them pieces flying out of the, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. That mesh is just flying out of that box. All like, look out, man! Got y'all a little bit of black smoke in on that one. But yeah, I gotta run back there, walk. I ain't running nowhere. In case y'all haven't never heard me say before, I'm fat. And fat boys just don't run. I'm gonna run back there to the rubber tire cutter. It's in that old set. I'm gonna walk back there, leave the work truck here, and I'm gonna go get it. And we're gonna put some fuel in Brady's loader, and I'm gonna get that cutter back up here close to proximity. We're gonna try and pile up. We're gonna try and delimber to about 4 o'clock and make sure we got some wood out for our truck to start early Monday morning. Maybe we can get our circus back on the right track next week. We've kind of been I guess you'd say like a bunch of toad frogs, all soiled up, sulking about this mess, and it's time that I think we're fixing to have to, we're just going to have to buckle down, and we're going to have to do what we know to do and do what has to be done until we get this stuff cut and we get through this wet winter that we're having right now. We're just going to have to man up and do what we got to do, and we're going to have to quit sulking about it. So I ain't saying we're going to be out here no 12, 14 hours, you know, but we're going to have to quit messing around. I ain't saying we've been messing around a whole bunch, but for the timber we're in, we've been, to my daddy's standards, we've been pretty laxed. So we all going to have to just kind of get back on it a little bit. So anyway, loud. Anyway, we appreciate everybody so much. Like I say in every video, if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe for me. We appreciate that a bunch. And a lot of good things going on right now for the channel, and working on some really cool content things coming up. So y'all keep coming back. We're gonna keep pushing through this mess, and we're gonna get back to our good wood eventually, and things are gonna pick up. And kind of like the other day in that video I posted, come too far to quit now. We're just going to have to keep on trucking on. And so yeah, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe for me, like I said a minute ago. Other than that, that's all I got, guys. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, and we hope to have y'all back whatever day that may be. Because right now we ain't got no video for Monday. So anyway, y'all take it easy, and hopefully y'all have a safe week. Have had a safe weekend. It's not been too wet. Until the next one, we're out of here.